Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Udofia. If it's your first time here, and I'm a makeup artist and a lover of everything beauty based in Toronto, Canada. I previously filmed a video where I showed you guys my top 6 drugstore foundations. So it's only fair that I give you guys, my top high-end foundations as well. And I had to make that one. I'm going to link the video to this video just in case you haven't seen it. I had to make the drugstore selection top 6 because it was so hard to pick, and I really wanted to share, honestly share the foundations from drugstore that I always use, and all that. But for this video, selecting my top 5 high-end foundation was very easy. I selected them based on 2 things: how long wearing they are and how functional they are. Because I'm more of a beauty bridal artist, I like foundations that are definitely long wearing and definitely have a beautiful finish to them and full coverage as well. I can always just tweak it to give me whatever it is I want, and that's why these are my top 5 high-end foundations. So if you would like to see what my top 5 high-end foundations are, stay tuned. So number 1, my number 1 high-end foundation is the Estee Lauder foundation. I absolutely love Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation. I don't always like to say I have the best foundation, but Estee Lauder has a special place in my heart. This foundation is just amazing. All the brides that I have worked with in the last 3 to 4 years now, for the past 3 to 4 years now, I have always used, majority of them have used Estee Lauder one. It's just a very beautiful formula. I don't have too much to say about this one. I know a lot of people always have issues with in terms of shades. It has quite a wide shade range, but because of the undertones, you see the way they number them, 5N to 7C, 7C that, so cool, neutral, warm. The undertones could be very confusing. But if you find your shade in this and you really want to invest in the foundation, anybody who asks me to recommend a high-end foundation for them, I always start off with this. I'll be like, get an Estee Lauder Double Wear, because it's just amazing. If you have combinations of oily skin, this is very good. Full coverage, long wearing, it's not transferable. It's just an amazing foundation. So yeah, I really love this one. My number 2 high-end foundation would be the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush foundation. This foundation is absolutely beautiful. I'll give you guys a backup story to how I started using Charlotte. I got into this foundation last year, and up until then I never really, the only thing from Charlotte that I owned and I really liked was the Magic Cream, and it even took me a while to like the Magic Cream, but now I can't even do without Magic Cream. And the powder as well, the airbrush powder. If you're a makeup artist and you really don't have that airbrush powder in your kit, I really don't know. That's probably one of the finest powders out there. Anyways, we're talking foundations now, so let me get back into this. Back to my backup story. I had a bride, and I did a makeup for the pre-wedding, the trad, and the white. And I'm going to insert pictures so you can just see what I'm talking about. And like I said, for my bride, my first goal would always be the Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation. So for a pre-wedding shoot, I'd gotten Estee Lauder foundation. I think it was something pecan that I had gotten for her, because that was something that it was just a perfect match. We used that for the pre-wedding. Everything came out well. I'm going to insert probably a video or a picture here, and just so you can see, it came out beautiful. It was perfect. And I'm like, okay, I kind of already have your foundation. We don't need to. I would just take that and to prep. It was just perfect, and I knew the foundation I wanted to use. But one thing about me is, regardless of when I have a job, I don't know how to just pack or prep small. I always go with the backup plan, just in case it doesn't work, just in case something happens. I have this, I have that. So it was as if my instincts knew what was going to happen. I got there, it was a traditional day. I'd taken my Estee Lauder, blah blah blah. I'd gone prepared and everything all of a sudden. And before then, I usually would tell my brides, to have facials done. At least have 2 sessions of facials done before the day, just to prepare the skin and keep it ready and for the day. So she had done that, had 2 facial sessions with a professional, and then the day of the trad came, I'd gone prepared Estee Lauder, we used this and that, and then the shade was just coming off, the undertone was just coming off funny. I don't know if the facials made her skin brighter or something, but I do not understand why all of a sudden that particular foundation just wasn't a perfect shade anymore. Thank God I had gone with my Lancome, so I just mixed it. I mixed the major foundation was the Estee Lauder still, but I mixed and balanced it out with my Lancome foundation, and that was how it just worked. So I'll insert a picture, a video, reference, so you can see what the outcome of the traditional look was. It worked, it was great, but I knew I needed something that was a shade. But since I wasn't, and again, the way the Estee Lauder was looking, it didn't feel like something that I would need in my kids. I would need in my kid. I probably had something like that already, so I took it back to get something else that could work for her the next day. And so I went back to Sephora, took out the Estee Lauder Pecan shade that I did not like, and I just said, okay, let me just try the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush foundation and see what the hype with this foundation is. And ladies and gentlemen, this foundation is worth the hype. I know I've seen a lot of people complain about it, but it's probably one of the foundations that can actually be a little thick in consistency, but maybe because I still, I still like how it applies. I still like how it sits on the skin. I like that airbrush smoothing, effect it gives. And it's long wearing as well. It's just a very beautiful formula. So I used this for the white wedding, and I'm going to insert the video or a picture on the screen just for reference. If you have oily skin, you have combination skin, I feel like it works with all skin types, to be honest. You just need to know. It just basically depends on your skin prep. So yeah, it's a very beautiful foundation. And if you don't also have the airbrushed powder in your kits, I don't know why. Now my number 3 would be the Dior Backstage foundation. This is another amazing foundation. I'm just an amazing because that's the word that's what is just coming to my head. Amazing. Very lightweight compared to the Estee Lauder and the Charlotte Tilbury that I just showed you. This is even more, the consistency is not as thick as this one's. I would say it's a medium to a full coverage, so you can definitely build up. The Charlotte and the Estee Lauder is full coverage. That one is like full coverage, but this is a medium to a full, so you can definitely build up to whatever coverage that you want. If you have combination to oily skin and you want something that is long wearing, something that gives you coverage but also feels like skin, that just a soft matte finish, something that just looks like you're not wearing anything. Now Estee Lauder and Charlotte, like I said, it depends on the application, yes, but in terms of finish, this would give you more of a skin-like finish compared to those two. And it's also very long wearing. I feel like they all have that. The longevity is like constant in all the foundations I'm actually going to mention it today. Foundation is beautiful. It's also another beautiful foundation. When I have bridal and it's going to be like a long day for a long event, I can also go with Dior. So for bridals, it's either the Estee Lauder, the Charlotte, or the Dior. Before I got into Dior and the Charlotte, it has always been Estee Lauder. Now it's one of those 3. If I have any bride and this doesn't work, that will work, this doesn't work, or I even mix, I mix them both together. It's amazing. It doesn't transfer, it is waterproof, and you can use it for both face and body. If you're somebody who sweats a lot or shines a lot throughout the day, or you have oily skin and you just want something to give you that extra security, and you want to pick between these first 3, I would say these 2 should be your top 2 pick. And if I'm supposed to choose based on what I have seen and based on how I have my experience with working with both of them, I would say that Estee still would beat the Dior Backstage like 0.1 or 0.2. This foundation is, I don't have a word. It's just based on that factor box, longevity, something that would not shine out as quickly as this and that. Yes, this. But if you're somebody who also wants it lightweight, like you don't just like how this is thick or how full coverage this is, and you just want something a little more lightweight, something a little more sheer, then the Backstage by Dior should be your topic in terms of that factor box. You get what I mean? So because the thing with foundation is, I've said it before, there's no best or just for anything, but you just need to know what you want from the foundation for it to be able to give you what you desire, if that makes sense. Yes, before I talk too much, let me go to number 4. Now my number 4 high-end foundation pick would be the Lancome Tint Idol foundation. This is probably my longest long-wearing foundation that I own in my kids. This Lancome I've used for like, I've probably used now for like maybe 4.5 years or 5 years, and I actually really like this. At first I wasn't really sure about, when I wanted to invest in Lancome properly, I wasn't sure of the shades to pick. But since I got the hang of the shades that would work well with my kids, I haven't looked back. This foundation I use on everybody, bridals, regular clients and all that, especially when I know they're going for like an event, or it's a shoot and I'm going to have to like change looks and anything that gives me, anything that is going to involve having to wear it for a long time, I would always go with Lancome. This is also said to be transferable. It is, and it was said transfer resistant, but in terms of in comparison now with the first 3 that I've mentioned, of course those 3 would give you more proof compared to the Lancome. But this is also transfer resistant, and everything also boils down to your skin prep. You don't just leave the work alone to the foundation. If you do not prep right, you will not get that. You won't get that 100% effect that foundation is supposed to give you, or finish if the foundation is going to give you. It's very beautiful. It's probably one of the only foundations here that have sunscreen in it, SPF 15. It's the shade range for this is also like, in fact, compared to every other one that I have here right now, I think this has more shade range. Correct me if I'm wrong, I stand to be corrected, but yes, the shade range for this is actually like very wide. The only thing about this is, on some people, this oxidizes quickly, and but I haven't really noticed that on any of my clients before. I don't know if it's based on the skin chemistry between the foundation and the particular person wearing it. I don't know if that's the reason why it would oxidize, but this foundation, and that's the only complaint I've heard about it. Like I said, it's probably the longest long-wear foundation that I own, and something that I would always use. It gives you this very skin natural like finish as well. It's also a medium to full coverage foundation. I feel like any skin type can wear this. Any skin type can wear. Dry, combination oily. It just really depends on your skin prep and your skin chemistry with the foundation. Last but not least is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation. Now, just like the Lancome, okay, I think this is the longest one. I lied. I started using this in 2014, and I have not stopped. I've not gone back. This or the Matte Velvet, I actually love both collections from Makeup Forever, but I think the Ultra HD is has my heart more. It's also a medium to full coverage foundation. It's also one of those foundations that give you coverage without looking like foundation, like you're putting too much on. You feel me? I would say for anyone who has normal to combination skin, this will be perfect. You probably will not have to worry about it breaking down early or anything. If I was supposed to do top 6 like I did for my drugstore foundation, I'd probably be picking the Huda Beauty foundation, the original one. The reason why it's not part of my top 5, even though it is a long wearing foundation, and it's also something that if you are a bridal makeup artist and you can work with, it's also a very good addition to your kit. But I personally do not like the consistency of the Huda Beauty foundations. I like them as a mixer. Like I use this and I mix them with other foundations, but on its own, I do not like the finish of it, and that's why it's not my go-to per se. It's more, to me, I feel like it's just too thick and it's just too foundation-y. Like you apply it and you don't feel like it's like, and like again with products here, it depends on how you work with them. I know that I can share it out. I know that I can, work with it, and I can like try to like balance it out to give me what I want. I can definitely do that. But with how I work, I've just come to realize that if I am not mixing my Huda Beauty with something, or if I'm not sharing it out, I can't actually use it. Not like it's a bad thing, but it's not just something that I'm always interested in doing all the time. And that's it, guys. So come to the end of my top 5 eye foundation. And let me just say this, I said this in the video for drugstore foundations as well. The fact that these are my top pick, doesn't mean that these are the only best foundations out there. These are just based on my own preferences on what has worked for me over the years and what consistently works for me. If it's not broken, I don't try to fix it. I have seen how this works. I can work with this. I know how to work with it. I understand how this foundation works, and that's why they would always be a staple in my kit. I definitely also have other eye foundations in my kit that I also really love, but based on the factor box now of why these are my top 5 in terms of longevity, in terms of the finish, in terms of how functional they are, that's why these are the top 5 for this video. And so yeah, what works for me might not work for you. You definitely can have your own picks as well, and I actually would like to know what your top 5 is. If you're watching this video and there's any there's a foundation that I did not mention and you're like, why did she mention foundation, let me know about it. If I don't already have it sorry, if I don't already have it, I definitely want to try it out, because I'm always on the lookout for new things. And if you want to see more of this kind of videos, my top pick, my this and that, let me know in the comment section. If you come this far and you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. It really means a lot to me. It helps me grow. It just keeps me motivated. I want my family to grow. I want to just keep seeing beautiful people subscribe, and yeah, it definitely means a lot to me. So yes, please subscribe. Until I see you again in my next one, stay beautiful, guys. Bye.